lives of kids from low-income households are often painted bleakly on paper. Less likely to graduate from high school, less likely to go to college, more likely to repeat a cycle of poverty. The beauty of ACE scholarships is, rather than defining ourselves by limiting circumstances, ACE encourages kids like me to define ourselves by the infinite potential of our future. My name is Favianna, and I'm honored to be here today sharing my journey and a future fulfilled with the help of ACE scholarships. You might see words describing me and where I come from as low income, minority, single parent household. But as I stand here today and share my story, I hope you remember me by how I define myself, the identity that you've empowered me to own. I am a proud Latina, a seeker of challenges, a woman for others, and a soon-to-be college graduate. But I certainly did not get here on my own. ACE has put the future of people like me at the forefront of their mission. And with the support of people like you, it has played a pivotal role in changing the trajectory of my life. ACE empowers kids like me to succeed by bringing together three powerful forces: a welcoming private partner school, a dedicated family, and supporters like you. My story starts with a family willing to do everything and whatever it took to not only imagine a bright future, but to realize it. My mom knew early on that a quality education was the key to my future. Being discouraged by the options available, she stepped in and found a local private school that would provide the safe, challenging, and supportive learning environment I needed to succeed. The only barrier between me and this school was cost. My mom worked 2 jobs, doing everything she could to make ends meet, but she still would not have been able to afford the tuition on her own. ACE closed that gap to where my hardworking, tenacious mama could cover the rest. She's amazing. ACE's investment sent a message of hope, the message that I deserved a chance at a bright future. When I look back at my 12 years as an ACE scholar, my heart is flooded with appreciation. Because my ACE schools weren't just schools, they were a second home, an extension of my very large, loving, and supportive family. The teachers were some of the most hardworking and encouraging people I've ever met. I made lifelong friends with responsibilities and dreams as big as mine. Our teachers motivated us to work toward a future that not only uplifted ourselves, but also our communities and the generations to come. Now, I didn't always know what my future would look like. Early Saturday morning, on October 29th of my senior year of high school, my world changed forever. The phone rang, and I watched my mom's face sink. She hugged me and my brother and could barely form the words that our dad had abruptly passed away. I remember sitting in my room in silence, confused and overwhelmed, knowing that my life would never be the same. Like so many ACE scholars who have experienced loss at a young age, I didn't know how I was going to move forward or what that future would look like. And I honestly don't know where I would be today without my ACE partner school. After my dad passed, that's when it struck me. My school was much more than a school. It was a true community that cared for me as a person, lifted me up, and helped me stay on track to becoming the woman that I was destined to be. My school gave me a space to grieve, went above and beyond providing counseling services, and even came together to dedicate a Mass in my family's honor. I'll never forget that feeling of unconditional support. That spring, I had the opportunity to create a radio story for one of my classes alongside real-life radio journalists. I wrote about what I had gone through and how I found the motivation to carry on through my younger brother and push forward for him and the rest of my family to not be overcome by grief, but encouraged to persevere through hardship. That's also what my dad would have wanted. And hearing my story on NPR was an experience unlike any other. It was the coolest thing ever. I knew right then and there what I wanted to do with my life. And I would not have had that opportunity without ACE. I enrolled in college with a renewed passion to study journalism and learn about how to bring awareness to the incredible life-giving work of organizations like ACE. I want others to know that there are resources to help them pave the way to a bright future. And I'm proud to share that this December, I will graduate with a degree in journalism, a concentration in public relations, and a minor in marketing. I will be the first in my family to graduate from college. But most importantly, is that I will not be the last. You see, ACE doesn't just affect a student. ACE impacts entire families. Both my mom and my brother are enrolled in college right now. Never ceasing to amaze me, my mom is pursuing her business degree, taking night classes and online courses in between her full-time job. It's remarkable to see the power and the mind shift from possibility to reality. Mom says I inspired her, but she's inspired me completely. She taught me that nothing is a handout, and if you want a better life, you have to work for it. And that's exactly what I've done. It's taken me 7 years to finish college, but because I have worked for every single class, working nights, weekends, and only enrolling in college or in classes when I had the money to pay for it out of pocket. Because I know what it's like to struggle, I didn't want my future to be defined by circumstance or crippling debt. The ACE model of a three-way investment taught me to value every second of my education. When you support ACE, you are not just donating to an amazing cause that you believe in. You are investing in the lives of children who need it most. Kids whose needs exceed beyond the classroom. Kids whose families are working hard and doing everything that they can to secure a bright future for their children. You might never meet the Houston scholars that you are supporting, but believe me, your gift will be with them for the rest of their lives and for the generations that follow. To the students who were on stage earlier, I hope that you see we are one and the same. As our keynote speaker, Liz Murray, wrote, "You are bigger than your circumstances." And I am living proof of this. ACE enables families who would not otherwise be able to fathom the possibility of a promising future to not only imagine it, but to have the tools and the resources to go after it and actually achieve it. Which is exactly why I'm humbled to invest what I can in the lives of current ACE scholars by serving as chair of the ACE Alumni Board. We're 28 members strong and have a unique opportunity to serve as an example for the younger generation, to show them what is possible, and to give back to an organization that has given us all so much. I've been fortunate to see and know personally many bright futures fulfilled over the years. From my Colorado cohort, we even have 3 alumni board members working in the oil and gas sector right here in Houston. I can't wait to see who else we add to our board as ACE Houston continues to grow and adds to its own alumni, to this community, and to this family that we call ACE Scholarships. Thank you for giving students like me the opportunity to graduate from high school, go to college, and become the future that we all depend on. And more importantly, thank you for setting an example of what it looks like to care for others and give back to the community. Because of your support, we are emerging as hardworking, community-inspired ACE alumni who have the opportunity to identify ourselves by the positive impact that we will make in this world. Thank you for believing in our futures.